What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger, man. Now, first things first, man, if it's your first time coming through, thank you and welcome to the Rich Gang family. Thank you, more importantly, God, for another day and opportunity. And man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Turn on post notifications to join the Rich Gang family. Hit that like button. I'm trying to get 50 likes on this video, so let's go ahead and run it up. And last, but definitely not least, y'all, go ahead and comment down below right now. Which state are you tuning in from today? Now, without further ado, as y'all can see by the looks of the title and your screen, today I am bringing y'all the best version of the Rebounding Wing build, and we're going to be able to get over 107 badges on this build. So the first thing that you want to go ahead and do is make sure that we start out by putting this build under the small forward position. Once we go ahead and get into the breakdown of the height, the weight, and the wingspan, this is the most essential part of this build. So for my liking, to make this more of a guard type build, that's the version that I'm bringing to y'all today, I'm going to go with 6'7". Now, when it comes down to the weight, this should be completely optional, but for my liking as well, to be more like a point guard, I'm going to go with 181 with a wingspan of 7'1". Now, for the body shape, this should all be based off what you feel comfortable with. But for my liking, I'm going to go with defined. Now, as we do go ahead and get into the breakdown of what this build is going to be looking like, just be sure that you copy and paste each and every individual stat that I bring to y'all today. I want us to be able to get the same exact build name together. I do not want y'all commenting down below that you got a different build name. So let's go ahead and just copy and paste as I go. As you can see, with the finishing, that's what we're going to be starting out with. I'm going to go with a close shot of 79, 84 for the driving layup, 87 for the driving dunk, with a 76 standing dunk. That right there is going to bring us up to a total of 26 badges. Now, honestly, the tiers that we actually do unlock for the finishing are definitely going to be very solid at that. Now, I'm pretty good with 26 finishing badges. Let's go ahead and get into the shooting. And this is where we actually have to be more specific and comfortable with the numbers that we are given. So I'm going to go with an 80 mid-range shot as well as an 82 three-pointer. And if you do adjust the wingspan trying to get more of a three-point shot, the build name is going to change. Same thing if you do upgrade the mid-range shot. So go with a free throw also of 89, and we're going to leave this build at 24 shooting badges. Very solid in my opinion. 50 to start out. Let's go ahead and check out the next 50 badges that we're about to unlock. So for the playmaking, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I bring this up all the way to around a 76. And that's going to give us silver bullet passer. For the ball handle, I'm going to go ahead and max this out. When it comes down to the speed with ball, I'm going to go with a 76. Now, I did try to go with 77 as well as 78. But when I did that, we changed the build name. And that is definitely what I do not want out of this build. So I'm going to go with the 76, 24 badges right here. And like I said, we're going to get another 50 badges, which means out of the defensive end, we're getting another 26 badges. So for the perimeter defense, the highest you can go to get this rebounding wing build name is going to be a 76. From there, I'm going to go with the steal of a 90. Block, this should be optional, but I'm going to go with an 83. If you feel like lowering it, you definitely can do so to try to get extra badges in other areas. And then for the offensive rebound, I'm going to go with the 77 as well as a defensive rebound of 86. And like I said, another 50 badges, making the defensive end at a total of 26. Now, we have the physicals remaining. And what that means is we are actually going to be able to use the rest of our upgrades put towards that. Now, 26 badges for the defensive end, getting some pretty solid tiers of badges unlocked as well. So when it comes down to the physicals, go with an 82 speed, 80 acceleration, and right here is a little nugget that I'm going to give to y'all. Go with a 70 vertical, and that right there is going to allow us to get the pro contact dunks on this build. So 88 stamina is very solid in my opinion as well. You can go up to the 90s range if you want to, but honestly, add the extra 7 badges that we're able to unlock from completing each season. That's going to bring this build up to a total of 107 badges. Now, This is honestly one of the most toxic lockdown defender builds, or two ways, whatever you want to consider it as. The rebounding wing is definitely up there when it comes down to being one of the top defensive builds. Now with this version, of course, I made it more as a guard, so the takeovers that we do get are going to be the glass cleaning, sharpshooting, shot creating, and the slashing. Now, you have a few different options to pick from to get the most out of the animations. I would go with first, possibly, limitless range or ankle breaking shots for the shot creating takeover. Secondly, this should be based off what you like, but if you want to be more comp on the defensive end, I would go with one of two badges. Either box out or see the future takeover. Now box out wall is really going to allow us to stack boards, especially when it comes to getting animations unlocked. You're going to be able to move people out of the way, but I also do like see the future takeover, so I'm going to leave it up to y'all. And as you can see, we were able to create the one and only rebounding wing build that is going to be playing more like a guard, especially with the defensive skill set that this build comes with. So from here, what we're going to go ahead and do is check out what this build is going to be looking like once we max it out to its full potential. Now you have to consider adding on the takeover boost, which will be for the defensive end as well as when it comes down to the shooting. Then secondly, consider bind boost on this build and running with teammates that will have floor general and defensive leader. So let's go ahead and check out a few of the main stats. When it comes down to being in takeover, add on your shooting boost from the takeover alone, then also bind boost and running with the correct teammates. We're going to be able to get a 99 3-point shot on this build, 98 or a 97 when it comes down to the mid-range shot, depending on how you go about making it. Then when it comes down to the finishing, if you did go with slashing take, you'll be able to get a 99 driving dunk as well as a driving layup. When it comes down to the defensive end, very solid for the rebounding. Your defensive rebound will go up to a 99, and if we're given the boost towards all of our defensive stats, this build is definitely going to be even more toxic on that end of the floor. Now from here, what we're going to go ahead and do is get into the breakdown of which badges you should be using on this build. So for my liking, I'm going to go with gold slithery finisher first. Secondly, I really like to run limitless takeoff as well as posterizer on silver. Now we have 11 more badges. I'm going to go with fearless finisher on silver, bronze unstrippable, then you cannot forget about gold fast twitch. Now with the last few remaining, if you're going to be more of a Lob City threat, I would go with at least bronze Lob City finisher. However, if you're looking to run more 1v1 with this build, you can go ahead and put on Pro Touch. There are so many different badges and setups that you can run with, so as long as you like what you're putting on, I promise you everything's going to work out. But for the shooting, I'm going to go with silver Hot Zone Hunter as well as Hall of Fame Sniper. Now just to keep in mind, these are all badges that I like to personally run on my own builds. From there, I'm going to go with silver catch and shoot, corner specialist, deadeye, green machine, as well as blinders. And honestly, if you want to go ahead and get more of a shooting boost, at least run bronze volume shooter. Now let's go ahead and get into the playmaking. This is where you got to be very specific with which badges you're putting on. I'm going to go with silver bullet passer, hyperdrive, quick first step, and implacable for the first set. Then you cannot forget about gold handles for days. I like triple threat juke, but you can definitely change this badge up if you wanted to. Then for the last three, you can go with either one of two options. All you got to do is to get one more gold badge, take off one tier of a certain badge that's already on. You're going to be able to spread the wealth a little bit more. But one badge that I really like to run is going to be bailout, and I'm going to run it on bronze for this build. Now, we got the defense to go ahead and get into. I'm going to go ahead and start it off with chase down artist on silver as well as rim protector. 19 more remaining badges, and to help out even more so on the defensive end, the badge that I really like to run out of all these defensive badges is going to be Pogo Stick, my personal favorite on the Hall of Fame tier. Very toxic, especially once you go ahead and adjust the vertical to some of these builds. Really going to be able to spam on the inside, especially when it comes down to getting blocks. Now the rest of the way is pretty self-explanatory. Go with silver clamps, gold intimidator, and then silver rebound chaser. With the last few remaining badges, you can make your own adjustments, but remember, that is all going to come down to your personal preference, especially on the defensive end. But honestly, this is what the build is going to be looking like all around. We do get over 100 badges, plus 7 from the badges that we have unlocked from each season. And as y'all can see, 26 defensive badges, 24 playmaking, 24 shooting, and 26 finishing, man. Again, if you did make it this far to the end of the video, I appreciate you, I love y'all, and I thank y'all. And man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Go ahead and turn on post notifications so you can join the Rich Gang family. Can we get 50 likes on this video? Be sure to share it with your family and friends and comment down below, where did you tune in from today? And man, with all that being said, thank you God for another day and opportunity, and Rich out.